Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. How you doing? It's Friday morning, August 26th. This is a day a lot of traders have been waiting for. I'm not really so concerned about it, but this is a day Powell speaks at Jackson Hole at 10 a.m. Actually, if you look at the indices, you'll see there's quite a bit of volatility here already this morning. That's because there were some comments coming out from the Fed's Bostic this morning, which I don't know, interpret it how you like. I thought he was kind of hawkish on the comments I've seen coming out, but I really don't care. I think anything happening right now, these are just excuses for the markets to do what they were going to do anyway based on technicals. I'm holding line, still have the same opinion I've had for a couple months in terms of the indices. You can see here, these are the daily moving averages. You can see where the Q is, trying to flirt with that 20 DMA. SPY is actually back over the 20 DMA, which got me thinking. I don't like seeing these violations up and down over a moving average. So I'm like, all right, let's look at the weekly. And if you switch to the weekly, you can see a little more fidelity to the moving averages here. And it's stuck in between the 20 and the 50 week moving average. That might be a more appropriate chart to look at in terms of breakouts or breakdowns. But yeah, listen, you got to admit there's some risk here. The market cares about what the Fed's going to say. So who knows exactly what's going to happen. That's why I'm keeping some cash available in case things get really cheap. So let's jump into some specific stocks. Man, yesterday we called out 3 stocks to highlight for our show. We called out a lot of stocks, but the title was PLAB, T-Mobile, and DXLG were the 3, and they all turned out great for us. PLAB, we picked some up. I did. I hope you guys did. Early morning at like 23:20, 23:30, and you saw it went on this big run for 2 reasons. It was a catalyst in reaction. It was an event reaction to the upgrade by Stifel to a price target of 27, and it's also an earnings anticipation run. Earnings are Tuesday, and I was telling you, I think this can hit new highs before earnings, and it's on its way there. The high is 25.81 is a 52-week high. Given where the RSI is at, and given how great earnings were last quarter, and given how the stock exploded after earnings last quarter, I think you're going to have FOMO going into this report, quite possibly taking you to a new 52-week high. So I'm excited for earnings on Tuesday. Obviously, there's going to be some risk into that report. So manage your risk accordingly. So congratulations. Another stock, another of our VIP picks at or near a new 52-week high. Just amazing. T-Mobile, TMUS. Looks like this turned out well, guys. You know the thesis. We've been talking about it the last couple of days since they had that report out. Right now in pre-market, it's at a new all-time high if this price holds. A new all-time high for T-Mobile. The key kind of surprise out of this, I think everyone thought, has obviously something to do with satellites and reception on a phone. But the key thing that took some people by surprise is you can use your existing T-Mobile phone to access the satellite. The satellite's actually going to be using a band from the T-Mobile cell phone technology. So actually the phone won't even know if it's connected to a cell tower or a satellite. It's going to look just like another cell tower. So when you have dead space, you go somewhere where it can't find the tower, it's going to connect to this other tower that's up in space. So this is a competitive advantage over here right now. I have T-Mobile, and I was starting to think maybe I want to switch to Verizon because it seems Verizon may have some better connectivity. I'm like, nope, I'm not switching. I'll just wait for this cool satellite technology. And it's free. If you have one of their popular packages, they're not going to charge for it. So that's great. I held 25% of my calls overnight. Honestly, I might buy more. I might buy some deep in the money, long dated calls. I think this can go on an extended swing run. You can see that pattern here, this like V, like a cup almost. The bottom was more like a V than a cup, but similar type of price action when you get these. If it breaks above that, which it's trying to do right here, isn't it? Oh, no, that's a 52-week high. Sorry. The all-time high is 150. Okay, so we're at a 52-week high this morning, not an all-time high. The all-time high is at 150.20. So 150 is a big resistance. If it breaks out of that cup, could go 156, 160 rather quickly. We've seen this pattern with Clearfield. We're now seeing it with Celsius. So I have a feeling this news is going to be good enough from both what it means for the fundamentals of the company long term in terms of getting market share, but also from a sentiment perspective. I think it's going to be good enough to break that cup at 150. Is there a handle? Is there not? We'll find out. That's why I'm going to be swinging this maybe many months out on in the money calls, I think is what I want to add this morning. All right. So congratulations on that. Congratulations, Tony. Thank you for bringing that idea to our community. Just want to mention ASTS is up. It's interesting. I didn't know anything about this stock. I have like no opinion on it, but we just discovered a new meme stock. I didn't like last night. I'm like, why is ASTS trending? You know, when the T-Mobile event was happening, I never heard of ASTS, so I did some research and it took a while to figure out this is a meme stock. It's like a satellite broadband company, and really probably should be seen as a negative that T-Mobile is doing this with Starlink. But all the meme people are out in force saying this validates their business model, and they were posting memes all night last night and animated GIFs and everything like crazy. I'm like, where did these people come from? It seems they were being directed there by Reddit to post on StockTwits. So that was very interesting. You see that action in ASTS. Who knows? That could be a battleground stock. Not interested. Just like to be aware of what's going on in the world. All right. Other stock we mentioned yesterday, DXLG. Man, I've put out multiple requests. Let's get the collaborators going. I don't know. People must be on vacation this week or something. But DXLG seemed to have great earnings. We played this yesterday. It worked out, whatever. I know you guys do what you want to do, but I gave the ideas out there and it worked out for me. Right now, it's like critical 200-day moving average. It had a good close at the end of the day, but certainly not as explosive as I thought it would be. So I went back, I did a little more research, I checked some social media posts, I looked at the conference call transcript to see if I'm missing anything. And it seems, even though their top line's growing and they're doing great, I told you all cash flow positive, buybacks, everything, seems the second half is going to be softer than the first half in terms of profit. So even though their top line's going up, so maybe that's weighing, and also because of uncertainty about the economy, maybe that's weighing as well. But would love to get some eyeballs on DXLG. If the fundamentals warrant this, then we can predict that it's going to break the 200 DMA. If the fundamentals don't warrant it, you'll get blocked at the 200 DMA. That's how I do the analysis. It's at StoryTrading. Instead of a pure technical trader saying, oh, you don't know, 50-50 when you get to a moving average. No, we look at fundamentals, catalysts, and sentiment to predict whether you're going to hold support or break resistance at key moving averages. That's how we do it at StoryTrading. So it's important we collaborate with people of different skill sets so we can handicap these movements better when we reach key resistance and support areas. So guys who are fundamentally oriented, jump on DXLG. Let me know what you think. And here's another one I want you guys to jump on, PRCH. I noted this a few weeks ago when Cantor Fitzgerald came up with an $8 price target on it, had a quick run. I don't think I participated then. We're just watching it. Now it's pulled back and bounced off the 20 and the 50 DMA. And I got in yesterday. I should have gotten in earlier because I was like, early yesterday morning, I was like, watch PRCH, watch Porch. I didn't get into it. I did get into it finally in after hours at 277 because I just love this chart. I need to have strong conviction. Okay, this chart is primed to retest 350 and then possibly break above it, but I'm not going to make a big bet without getting the fundamentalists in our community getting their okay on it. I did read the report myself. To me, it looks great, but the devil's in the details. The skeletons are hidden in the closet in terms of balance sheet and capital structure and when they might need a raise, like things like that are not easy to read in a press release. So we need the experts to look at that, give us their opinion. So I would say even this could be such a time-sensitive thing. If there's interest, let's jump on a Zoom this morning and maybe do a collaborative session, because this could be explosive returns rather quickly if we have confidence that there's going to be fundamental buyers here supporting these support levels. So let me just remove the 200 moving average on this for a second. Let's take the SMA, remove the 200, because it's a little bit hard to see the interaction here. Now I can see it much better. The 20 and 50 day moving average interactions, it held that 50 DMA, right? Opened above it, intraday tested it, and still held above the 50 DMA. I really like this pattern because I also like the RSI is relatively low at 54. Last time it reached 67.70. And you can read these RSIs like charts oftentimes. If the resistance is 70, there's a good chance it's going to reach that 67.70 again. That gives it room to go up and retest that 350. So I'm very, very interested in this. In lieu of getting the blessing of some of the fundamentalists in our community at this point, I did take a position anyway, because I'm now trusting and leaning on the Cantor Fitzgerald report of an $8 price target and my superficial read of the press release, which seemed pretty good. Okay, so that's Porsche. Guys, get on it. Get on researching. What is it? DXLG, and PRCH, possibly two good companies fundamentally. All right. GLBE, I want to bring to your attention because it had a key moment yesterday. It broke above and held the 200-day moving average. It didn't just break above it like this, right, with the bottom of the candle still below. It tested it, right? So they're exactly like what we just showed you with Porsche on the 50 DMA. This is now doing the 200 DMA. Opened above the 200, tested the 200 DMA intraday, and then bounced higher. And I'm wondering if this can be a leading indicator of risk assets doing really well, because this is one of those growth stocks that were overvalued, and now it's over the 200 DMA. I'm not sure there's many other growth stocks over the 200 DMA. I don't think they are. There are many that I know of. Let's check what Shopify's at. No, Shopify's still in the gutter. So, maybe this is a higher quality growth name. So maybe you're seeing those higher quality growth names, break their trends and go to bullish trends sooner than the lower quality growth names. Maybe this is what that's indicative of, GLBE. So we have to watch that. Celsius, haven't changed my opinion. Still think this is going to 120 plus, strong support at 110. BCRX, there was some news out this morning. You can participate in our VIP communities to get Zach's opinion on that, on the data that came out yesterday. They seem to be chock full of data every day lately. And again, I pointed out the chart yesterday, which looked pretty good when he switched to the line chart and he checked the closing highs. So BCRX looks good. I didn't get into FREY, man, but I think I want more lithium exposure, more battery exposure with everything. I read the California ban on IC engines by 2035. I read an article which I shared that said typically there's about 15 other states in the United States which follow California's lead on green regulation. So they said there's a high chance you can expect that within a certain time frame that these other 15 states will also ban the new sales of internal combustion engine vehicles by the year 2035. I mean, can you think of anything more bullish? I don't think this is priced in. I really don't. It's an EV sector and lithium sector. This can get crazy in the lithium sector. So FREY, don't own it yet. Goldman Sachs, $18 price target. I was hoping for a pullback yesterday. We really didn't get it. So we'll see if I can get into FREY at some point. All right, let's mention a few here that have not doing well. So SIGA, because there was a story out saying monkeypox, who says monkeypox cases are down 20% in a week globally. Okay, so you see the big move down yesterday on other factors. In fact, I didn't even consider this outcome. I should have, but I was worried about the trial they're doing in terms of efficacy. That's going to be an overhang, a sentiment overhang on the stock, which I talked about. And I talked about the technicals. And I was saying that this can go to the 50 DMA. Little did I know that this catalyst would come and really hurt sentiment and be the cause for it to quickly go to that 50 TMA. So now that this is the catalyst, honestly, I'm a little more cautious. We'll have to see if I participate in this. If I do, maybe again, looking at the short puts with very high premiums, if you can get them possibly when you reach the 50 DMA. But I got to be more cautious on this. The good thing is, this is a strong company, fundamentally high cash flow, high cash balance, and they're not dependent on just monkeypox. In fact, most of their revenue is from smallpox stockpiling. Okay. So I'm not sure this change. Like, I think this is the kind of situation where, yeah, the bottom, who knows where it could. You have strong support at $15, by the way, very strong. So is the bottom going to be 15? Is it going to go lower? Is it going to go all the way to the 200 DMA, 10 or something like that? It could, but 2-3 years out, this is probably a $30-$40 stock or more based on the fundamentals, the way I read it. So, with monkeypox coming out there, you're still going to, like, smallpox is not widespread, but they're getting hundreds of millions of dollars of order for smallpox drug. So now monkeypox, actually, there was an outbreak. So even if it goes down to 0 in the next 3 weeks, right, this is a catalyst for governments to stockpile monkeypox drugs over the next few years. So their business is strong. This is driven by sentiment now, warranted that it's driven by sentiment, and it could go lower in the short term. So I'm going to be careful of that. Here, they're doing a rights offering. I don't know all the details around it. It looks like it's at 50 cents, the rights offering, but I don't think it's been approved by the SEC. Some sort of proposal. Rights offerings generally looked at as better in terms of dilution for retail holders and everything. So that's why I guess you're not seeing it go all the way to 50 cents here. And who knows, maybe the price will be modified. I'm not sure. But anyway, I sold on this news. I did still have some shares. I sold this morning at 217. Still made great money on this because we got a lot of this move up here thanks to, again, Tony. Tony's been nailing it in our community. So we'll continue to watch EAR. I know a lot of people still love this company longer term based on the FDA decision to make hearing aids over the counter. So perhaps there's an opportunity to pick these up at supports, but we got to understand the details of that rights offering before we do that. SMMT, this is the biotech with the rights offering also at like 97, 98 cents was the price. And you had the CEO participate, did like $93 million out of the $100 million of the CEO. And that was a catalyst for this stock to run from $1 to $1.75. Now it's pulling back. This is an interesting one. I think this might bounce off the 2050 DMAs. I think at $1.10 or so, and it might consolidate there for a few days, and then you can get a secondary pop to like $1.30 to $1.50. So watch that, SMMT. All right, CFVI, man, I am surprised. I think the vote is September 15th. Okay, if you guys did not see my interview with the CEO, you should go see it. Particularly if you don't want to see the full hour, we have a 5-minute snippet that we made also. It's at youtube.com/StoryTrading. I threw it into one of the rooms. A 5-minute snippet on their user metrics and the financials, which are the two most important things fundamentally to the company. And there was some really good data in there. And the momentum that we're seeing right now of creators jumping onto Rumble is just incredible. And the momentum of the business model they have in terms of their cloud services and their ad center and their payment technology. They seem to be having a lot of momentum in all those areas. But the user, just based on the monthly active users alone, there's a beautiful chart now on Excel I could show you, which is in the video. You can go look at the video. I mean, they're exploding just based on the monthly active users alone. I think this company is worth several $1 billion. The question always is, how capital intensive is it? Are they going to have to dilute? I got some comfort level from the interview with the CEO. I mean, they're at 15% the size of YouTube with 200 employees. I mean, so they're very cost efficient the way they're doing things now. Chris Pavlovsky thinks they can get to cash flow neutral with the $500 million they're raising. So very interesting. Most famous people in the whole world just moved to Rumble, and he was on Fox News yesterday. His name is Andrew Tate. I really don't know much about him at all. I'm just starting to learn about him, but he was completely banned. Andrew Tate was completely banned from all of social media within the last few weeks So he opened the Rumble account and he's really pushing it hard. And he says like everyone's moving to Rumble, and they are. Like every day there's another creator with like a couple million followers from YouTube moving to Rumble. It's just insane momentum they have right now. And I just cannot believe, yes, it's a SPAC, it's a D-SPAC. There's going to be risk. There's going to be manipulation. There's the pipe. It could drop by $3, $4, $5, before it goes up. Like all that stuff could happen. But with this kind of momentum, I cannot believe, and I am a little bit surprised that the retail holders who are maintaining DWAC at $30 because of ideological reasons, political and ideological reasons, how come they haven't been able to push up and maintain CFVI at much higher than $10? That really surprises me. And I don't think that's going to maintain itself. At some point, I don't know what catalysts they're waiting for. Maybe they're waiting for the vote. Maybe they're waiting for the D-SPAC and for this to change to RUM. But I think you're going to see that kind of sentiment demand, that kind of ideological and political demand come into the stock. And I think it's going to be a meme stock at some point. So I'm very excited about this. And because of the recent momentum that they're having, I might buy a little bit more shares to add to my core long-term position. I think this is going to be a $10 billion plus company within a few years. All right. Obviously, there's a lot of risks. You never know. Got to say that. VTSI, new CFO news came out. Just want to point out, REL had a new 52-week high yesterday. Clearfield probably had a new 52-week high yesterday. I'm not going to tap into. I mean, every day they have a new 52-week high. The thing's absurd. Air rebounded off that move. I don't know. Let's see. Can we get to 25 at this rate? Maybe, with what's going on with EV and everything. And then Summer, new 52-week high yesterday. A lot of our stocks. Personally, unfortunately for me, all those great stocks are only 20% of my portfolio. I should have made it heavier weight. I was really overweight DRIO. So, but at least even with the DRIO temporary debacle last week or two, my account is actually up a little bit, believe it or not, because all these other stocks are doing great. So listen, 10 a.m., we're going to be watching what the Fed says. I'm not so concerned, honestly. Either way, there's going to be volatility. It's going to swing up and down and do crazy stuff. But, stick with the good names, buy the support levels, maybe sometimes buy the breakouts, and we'll see what happens. Guys, get to work. Porsche, PRCH, DXLG. Let's see what's going on. PLAB, earnings Tuesday. Don't forget, TMUS. Can we get more out of this? 150 plus? I hope so. I think I might be aggressive with it. All right, guys, have a good day. Thanks for joining.